A1 Trading to Tower, you are clear for takeoff. Before the show begins, remember that trading involves risk, and anything shared in our content should not be construed as financial advice.
I do have some trades on. I am long Aussie CAD.
For these positions, I wouldn't mind holding them for 3 months.
So around 100.5 to 99.5 in that sort of area.
Pulver alerts, I have 100 shares at 11.79. I closed out today.
Start building your strategy based upon historical data.
Welcome to A1 Trading.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to another live stream. Short one today because we have something on deck, which is, of course, our annual best setups for next year webinar. It's happening today. I'm really excited about it. We do this, like I said, it's semi-annual. We usually do 2 per year, but we have got a heck of a lineup that we're going to be doing today. And I'll tell you more about that in just a second. I just wanted to jump on here. This public stream will be shortened today. We're only going to be streaming on, just to the YouTube channel for 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. And then we are going to be doing our private webinar event. We have got a heck of a lineup here. Let me just, let me see if I'll get some information for you guys in just a second on that. But today we are going to be going over our top setups for end of year, as well as going into 2026. We do this twice a year, usually talking about like kind of our best setups. We do like a midway through the year and we do an end of year pep rally sort of webinar event. So you'll have Chris Pulver on there, Marco, James, you guys know the group, but each of us are going to be going for an hour talking about kind of our overview of financial markets in great length ahead of 2026. It's really fun because, again, you kind of get we do a private webinar. So the reason we do it private is so that we can kind of gauge people who are very serious so that we can actually take questions from a controlled smaller group. If you are interested in getting access to that, I will have the link for you in just a second. I'm waiting on Julie from our marketing team to share it with me just so I don't have to pause stream and go find it. But we'll get that in just a second. Could you please drop webinar registration link? Okay. Yeah, I'll have that in just a second, guys. Don't worry. Taking a quick look here, just in terms of markets where we are going into this week, you have SP500 still holding so far this 50-day moving average that we've talked about for the last few weeks. Strength here, strength here, strength here. I'm looking for that to continue this week. I think you should see the 50-day moving average continue to hold as dynamic support. If it does not, where do I start to get a little bit worried about price action here? Well, it would be if we saw a solid close beneath these kind of wicks that we've been seeing on Fridays, right? We've seen the last 2 Fridays have a sharp rejection off the 50-day moving average. If we do not see that same pattern hold up, meaning we come down and we actually close beneath these levels, that to me would signal, okay, bears may have actually put in a little bit of a lower high and maybe we have some short-term movement lower. Now, I've highlighted that my bias on the indices doesn't get truly outright bearish from a technical perspective unless you were to see a break of the 200-day moving average, which is all the way down here. So now there could be an intra kind of intra-year pullback, meaning we could see this kind of move, and I would remain mostly on the bullish side unless you saw complete failure at 200-day moving average. Then it starts to look, okay, bears are fully in control. But I think bears have a lot to go off of, or they have a lot to prove if you're going to be very bearish on this market, because we've seen dips be bought very aggressively in this market. I think that is a theme going into 2026. However, there's some things that we need to watch closely on that. Okay, yes, here is the webinar link, webinar registration link. Here it is. All right. So for those just tuning in, Today, we are going to be doing a very short public live stream, and we are going into a multiple hour-long webinar session between myself, Chris Pulver, Marco, and James from the streams. We're going to be doing our best setups for 2026 webinar. We do this twice a year. We do one in the middle of the year and one at the end of the year. And today is the day. We're doing a full breakdown on our full outlook for the end of year and going into 2026, which I think is always I really look forward to doing these events. If you are not registered for the event, it will not be public on YouTube. So if you want access to the event, there is one way to do it. You have to click the link that's just been dropped, register for that. Why are we doing it through a registration process? Well, the main reason is so that we can keep it a smaller group and we can answer questions a little bit more intimately. So if you have questions about certain, if you want to talk about silver, oil, etc., we're going to be doing our presentations privately on this registration. If you register, even if you can't make the full event today, people who register will also be sent a way to watch it back later. So if you can't watch the full event right now, but you want to, take it piece by piece, I know some people will watch it like over the course of a few days to just get an idea of each of our outlooks. The registration link, like I said, will take you to where you can watch it live, or you can watch the recording later if you missed the full event, but it will just email you a copy of the registration, of the webinar in case you can't make it live. But the way to join, again, we're starting in 25 minutes. This stream will be ending in about 5, and then we'll go, it'll start happening on the registration link. Is the webinar free? Yes, it is. It is free to join. There's no cost to joining. However, you do need to register through that link. Otherwise, you will be left out of the webinar. So, and if you're watching this recording at a later time and you still use that registration link, again, that will work just fine. In fact, maybe James, if you could do me a favor on the back end for people who watch later, could you help me just adjust the YouTube live stream description to include the webinar registration link that I just dropped in there? It's also, if you need it, it is also in our A1 Trading team Discord live stream chat. But if you could drop that in the got you. Thank you, James. Appreciate you. Yes, webinar is free to join. There's no cost to join. It is you just use this link that's just been dropped in the chat. Use that link to sign up to register, and it will send you an email with your access information. It takes like 2 seconds to join the webinar, and we'll be going live, like I said, in about 20 minutes. So what's up, Dennis? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I feel like we really could use today's workshop. No better time than now. People are wondering, is gold rolling over, or is this sort of a reload before we go higher? Same thing with stocks, right? Stocks have actually, for the first time in a while, we're starting to see some prolonged consolidation in stocks. Stocks are going sideways despite all the AI hype. Is this set to break higher, or are some of the weakening aspects of the economy going to truly drag the whole thing lower? I think there's some things that we really need to unpack, and we are going to unpack in today's webinar. I'm sure Chris Pulver, he's big on that stuff. He's going to be talking a little bit more about that. Next year, we have midterm elections. I mean, these are interesting times for markets. You have Bitcoin also breaking structure completely on the weekly chart, losing the 50-week moving average. There's some stuff that we're going to get into in today's webinar that I'm really excited to talk about, and I'm going to use that full hour. I've got a full presentation for an hour going over everything in terms of market outlook. So I'm very excited for it. I hope that you will join me. Again, I'm going to shut down this stream here in just a moment. Here is the link. One last time. I do hope that you will join me on this. Again, we're going to be starting in 20 minutes. We have multiple hours of content planned between the 4 traders that will be speaking, myself and 3 others, Chris Pulver, James, and Marco will all be giving their presentations in terms of their outlooks. And I do think that it will be eye-opening. All these guys have years of experience, track records. I mean, it's a wealth of knowledge, and it is free to attend. All you have to do, register. It will send you an email to get into the webinar when we start live. If you join us live, you can ask questions. If you can't make the live stream, or the private webinar when it starts, no problem. You can always watch it back later. If you fill out that form, like I said, it will email you the webinar details so that you can even watch it back if you miss the live event. We'll see you there too, Sluggy. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to get into it. I got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about. We're going to do everything from currencies to commodities, crypto, stocks. We're going to be busy. So with that said, guys, James, if we are good to go, we can kind of roll our banner here for the next 20 minutes on this stream. So again, this stream, we're cutting it short here today because I got to get ready for the webinar. We're going to go public on, or I should say go private on the webinar. In about 20 minutes, we will be starting our event. Come with your questions. If you have some questions, write them down for us. Drop them in the chat. I'll be doing my best to answer questions. We have, like I said, we have multiple speakers on the event. We're going to have Chris Pulver. Let's see, we're going to have Chris Pulver. We're going to have Marco. You guys know these guys. FX James, all going over their top setups for next year. And I am very excited. Okay. I'm going to back out here and let just kind of the banner play. Again, I hope that you'll join us. Like I said, all the information for the registration is in the chat, and we'll also have it in the description in just a second. Hope to see you guys there, and have a great rest of your day.
You've been watching A1 Trading Live. We're here Monday through Friday, where you can tune in to hear insights from professional traders from all over the world. All month long, our products are 40% off, the biggest discount of the entire year. You can get access to our trading softwares, trading community, and so much more right now on our website, a1trading.com. Make sure to subscribe for future streams, and don't forget, if you're looking to get access to free courses, prop firm discounts, and free trading tools, as well as massive discounts on all our products, head over to a1trading.com. See you next time.